Hello, my darlings, Mumsy here again. Oh, I do hope you're well and lovely. And Paul is going to treat us today, treat us to his thoughts from such a long time ago, when he was just a little bitty boy. Well, not a little bitty boy, but back a long time ago, where he read a book called Being Loving is Being Healthy. And it spurred him to this lovely little 5-minute poddy-waddy thing, this quickie-quacky thing. You have a little listen, because Monty's going to be really quiet, aren't you, Monty? Have a listen now, boys and girls.
Personal development, unplugged. So here we are with the 5-minute quickie, and it's quite strange. I was reading a book of mine, and I don't know how long I've had it, but it was written by a guy called, and it's got the greatest surname in the world, I think, Paul Lambillion. I used to call him Paul Lambilligon. I don't know why, but there's a book called Being Loving is Being Healthy, Self-Healing Through the Power of Love. It's a bit of a woo-woo la-la bit out there, I guess. But this was in the days where I was first on my adventure of personal development, looking at things like meditation and one or two other things to do with the mind, but I didn't know I was dealing with the mind. And I went on a couple of courses with Paul and teaching about the energy that we have, how we're all connected and things like that. And I was just reading his book the other day. In fact, it was yesterday. And I noticed he was mentioning about the Akashic field. Now, we've been talking about the Akashic field for so many times in these podcasts, when we call it the integrated field of learning. I think they're just different names for the same thing, where everything is interconnected and all the resources are out there. We put it out there and we can take it in. And there's an abundance, an infinite resource of anything we want. All the knowledge is out there. And that's what it got to me, was saying, maybe I don't know everything. There's a good chance of that. There's a bloody good chance that I know only a tiny, tiny bit. But the thing is, it's out there. Everything that anybody wants to know is out there, and we can find it. We just have to ask to look. Because if you think about it, when we're open to this field of learning, it's as if we get in tune with various ideas, and they just come to us. Because if you just go back in time, the people who invented things which changed the world, they weren't extraordinary people. They were just ordinary people doing extraordinary things. But the thing is, they were there to be there and tune in, because they didn't know that to begin with. They worked towards it. They assumed the knowledge or consumed the knowledge. And the more they tuned in, the more they got. And in abundance, they could take as much as they wanted, and there's still more, and then develop it and put it back into that field for others to follow. So we can now, start from their shoulders, as it were. We don't have to go through that same learning as they did to get to where they are now. We can actually learn from them right now. So what it took them 10 years to learn, they could tell us in moments, in minutes, in hours. And we've got that information. And all this has come to, all of these 5-minute quickies and the things I do tend to be remembering the things that we know that we've forgotten, or even getting your unconscious mind to remember the things that you don't consciously know and have them bubble up into your conscious awareness by serendipity, by coincidence, by making your own luck, by having these learnings come to us. So it was just, as you do, you find these little snippets of pure joy, pure gold that get you thinking. And for me, it began to get me feeling grateful of the knowledge I have got and the knowledge I can find. Because I was just thumbing through that book. I wasn't looking for anything particular. And this little paragraph seemed to just be there, shining at me. And it was like, there you go, Paul. You heard this, you read this years and years ago. And let me have a look, see if I can find the date of this book. But here we are, 1992. It says, to Paul, best wishes, Paul Bang Lambillion. 1992. That's quite a few years old. And this is the stuff I was learning then. And I didn't realise until now you put it all together. So these seeds of learning go into your unconscious mind. So the more you listen here at the Personal Development Unplugged podcast with me, the longer podcasts, the short ones, the hypnosis, and everybody else that you listen to, you read, even though you're not aware that this information is going in, it is, and it's making a recipe for success for you. So what I'm trying to say now is, open up your senses and ask for the things that you want to know. And I guarantee the more you ask and the more you feel so inquisitive, you will, that information will come to you in one form or other, because it always will. But you do have to ask. Ask on the inside, and it's like the right teacher will come along. But it will come along, or he, she, it will come along in maybe not the guise of a person. It could be in a book, a film, just some information through a podcast. And that's the exciting world we live in. So, I've said so about 25 times now. That's got to stop. But so, what do you want to learn? Who are you most impressed with? And if you could learn what they have learned in just a few short hours, what could you go on to learn? That's something to just take some time out and consider, I guess, with our old Jenny journal. And then plot a plan to learn as much as you can and use that learning. Use it for yourself and use it for others. Know what to do and do what you know. Pure mastery. And one thing you need to remember is whatever you think you are, you're always more than that. And as you realize you're more than that, you actually realize you're even more than that. Deep, Paul, very deep. Anyway, have more fun than you can stand. And as once a big man used to say, live with passion. Hey, just a couple of reminders before you go, if that's okay. The first one is, do have a little glance, if you would, at my other website, paulcloughonline.com. It's got my first program of allowing your unconscious mind to let go of anxiety. It's called Free Your Life of Anxiety. The first 5 days are absolutely free. And I think you'll find, even in those first 5 days, you're going to find so much more. And there's a lot more to get out of that as well. So just have a flick through, if you would. There's a couple of hypnosis tracks and things like that. But I'll give you more details in another podcast. And also, this is all about generative field of learning and sharing in that generative field. So if you have found this or any of the other podcasts of interest to you and of benefit, please do share them with your friends. It's how this podcast keeps going with people listening, because that's what it's all about. Okay, so please do that, and we'll have a wonderful life together, creating a wonderful world and growing together. So enjoy every heartbeat. Bye-bye now. Personal development, unplugged.